And also here, this is one of the feedback from one of the students, as reported by Professor Paul Cooper from Leicester University in UK, in his one of the good books, by the way. Its title is the Count Me In. Count Me In. It's one of the best of the books that I have read, really, in this area. He mentioned that one of the instructors said, one of the student feedback said, one instructor I respected was patient if there was a problem. So patience is a very important value that we have to have. Patience. And also he said that he would talk with all of us in private. So again, privacy. It's another, or maintaining privacy is also one of the very important things that we have to consider. How privacy can be attained through the, or during the office hours, right? Yeah, you can help them with that one. And also he continues that with mutual respect. But also here, building such good relationship between you and your student, it will take time. Please be patient. You know that our kids used not to build good relationship with any stranger. Yes. Unless they find that there is a fruit beyond building such good relationship. Once they test it, they will come like this. They will build good relationship. It's the same thing with our student. If they feel that there is a benefit of having good relationship with their instructor, believe me, they will be positive to make good relationship with their instructors. And don't you believe that there is, or there are some benefits beyond making good relationship with the instructor? Don't you have? Is there any benefit? Is there any benefit of building good relationship with our students? For students, let us say. Is there? Sure there is. Many, yeah. Many. At least, as I said in the beginning, the barrier between you and your student will be broken there, right? So they will feel free at least to ask question, right? And this is really one of the challenges that we are facing, that some of our students use not to ask any question at all, right? Yeah, because there is a barrier in there. So now let us go to one of the exercises in here. I think every one of us do remember one of his or her instructor having the most impact on his life. If I'm going to ask any of you about that instructor, you will say, yeah, X or Y. There is no need really to think about it, right? Yeah, could be in the elementary school, secondary, high school, or even bachelor, master, PhD, or after that, or a colleague, or something like this, right? So my question right now, I need all of you really just to think about it. What are the main features or distinguished features of that instructor which cause him really to have the most impact on your life? Okay, think about it. I'll give you 1 minute only, 1 minute, and then I have to hear at least one feedback from the male side and the other one from female. So we'll have 1 minute, please. Although the strategy in here is for sharing experience. Sharing experience means there is no need really to think about it because it's clear, it's obvious. So also such kind of strategy can be used when you ask for something that needs no time really to think about. For example, if you ask somebody about, okay, how many courses you have this semester? Is there a need really to give him some time really to think about this question? There is no need, right? Or, okay, what are the, let us say, the instructors that you do have in your department, something like this. There is no need really to think. So such kind of questions can be, we call them on-the-fly questions. on the fly. Okay? طيب, any feedback? Yeah, please. Yeah, please. We need just one from here and one from here. Yeah.
My professor, I spent 6 years with him. Number one thing is his knowledge. But I can say that he was so kind and he was always respectful.
So you summarized the subject. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So here we have two categories. The first one, or let us leave it till hearing from the ladies. Okay, I need also one feedback from here. You didn't have? No. Everyone should have. Everyone should. Huh? Yes, please. Assalamu alaikum. Bring it closer. Yeah, I get it. Thank you much. Thank you much. So she's saying she is appreciating the way that her instructor really used to communicate with you as well as to assess, means using active classrooms, let us say. It's active classroom, by the way. By using such kind of activities, it's an active classroom. Here we can summarize, I think Dr. Muhammad, he summarized really the categories of the main features of the good instructor to have the most impact on the student life in there. So two traits. The first one is the ability to build good relationship or the kindness and something like that. So this is number one. And the other one is the strength in his subject knowledge, right? So this is also can be under this category, by the way. Yeah. Thank you very much. So we'll move now to another strategy which is known as minute papers. Minute papers means what? Means you can ask a question to your students, ask question, and then give them 1 minute or 2 minutes just to write down the answer. Write down, not to just to share it. Write down. So this is another exercise. So please, I would ask all of you kindly really to answer this one. So based on your experience, how can you build good relationship with your student? Please try to list some tips only. So please. And this strategy does not need any equipment, isn't it? Is there a need really to have some equipment? No, it's a paper plus pen, that's it, okay? So we'll have what, done? Oh, perfect, thank you. Believe me, such kind of breaks that you can give for your students, for sure it will initiate for the coming session. You got me what it means? If you do have many lectures, 10 minutes, and then followed by a question like this, and then you can start again, so it means they got refreshed already. And then they can be embedded there. Because there is a problem with the lost concentration immediately after 10 to 15 minutes, as reported in the literature. Yeah. ...20 seconds. Perfect, perfect. So now, you know how to use this strategy? I need an answer now. You know how to use it? You know how to use it? This strategy? I need one answer from here. Huh?
How to use it?
How to use this strategy with your student. The strategy is minute papers. So how to use this strategy, this activity, how to use it? Do you know how to use it? Yeah, please. Yeah, please, yes. It's summarizing, yes.
Give the students questions from the
Any question?
questions, yes, and expect them to answer it and
How to answer it? Is it verbally or in writing?
write it.
Writing. Thank you much. That's it. Very brief. Appreciate it. Now, if you'd like really to have more efficient way, immediately after having this strategy, you can ask for getting feedback. Either to collect all these papers without names, and then to review them whenever you have time, if you don't have time within the classroom. Or you can ask them, okay, excuse me, so would you please tell me about your feedback? What about you? What about you? What about you? So by doing so, the majority, it's not all of them, the majority of your students can have a feedback. Why? Because we did give them an opportunity to think and an opportunity really to write. But maybe not all of them. Why? Because some of them, they may not have the answer. You got my point? Or maybe the allocated time for this activity is not enough for them really to get something solid in there. Okay? So I'm going to move. There is no need really to hear from your side because we have so many activities and also the time is limited. But coming to the model, learning environment model. Let me ask you something like this before this. I'm 100% sure that all of you is using this model without knowing the name. That's fine. Okay, let me just tell you about something. If you are planning to do something, if you'd like really to do something, so this is a goal, isn't it? Achieving this is a goal. You'd like really to go to the, let us say, you'd like really to go to, or you'd like to publish a paper. So this is your goal, right? Then, so means you define your output state, which is your goal. And then you have to assess your capabilities and your willingness and also what are the facilities that you do have and something like that. Isn't it? So this is before publishing any paper, you have to conduct some experiments at least, right? So, but also, if I do have everything in my lab, so what's needed is just to do the experiments. If I do have the ideas in there for sure, right? But if I don't have the facilities, so in this case, I have to get facilities first, isn't it? So this is the second point. So the first one is you have to define your output state, which is the goal, and then you have to assess your input state. After that, what are you going to do? You are going to make a plan to do literature survey, to conduct some experiment, to get some feedback from here and there, and then to write a paper. Isn't it like this? I think it's like this, isn't it? So this is the model. Is to start with defining your output state, and then to assess the starting point for your students, the input state, like what I did in the beginning with the survey in there. And then I'm going to propose or design some activities to move from this starting point to the destination. So, but also this model is just for meaningful learning. Meaningful learning or understanding means they have the knowledge plus the ability to utilize this knowledge to do something. This is the meaningful learning. If we are going to just get an information, obtaining an information as a meaningful learning, it's not. To get an information to do something. If you are going to gain the information to do nothing, So this is not meaningful learning. Meaningful learning, to gain something, to do something. Okay, you may say, yeah, I may have to gain this knowledge and then to continue with this knowledge by the end of the day, or by maybe after a year or 2 years, I'm gonna be able to do something. Yeah, it's fine. But by the end of the day, your objective is to gain something, to do something. It's not just to gain. Yeah, by the end of the day, so I'd like really, or the take-home message, dispensing knowledge is not enough. Means knowledge plus skills to utilize this knowledge to do something. So that's why I'm sure that you are familiar with the NCAA course specs, for example. We have in the course learning outcomes, right? Course learning outcomes. And we used really to write there, by the end of the course, all students will be able to, and then do, solve, let us say analyze, predict, design, create, something like that. Maybe for the freshman level or something like that, we may add some knowledge skills in there. This one can be accepted in the earlier stages for our students, right? Because it's the, if you know, it's the base of the pyramid of the Bloom taxonomy of learning in there, right? Or could be knowledge for the, let us say, for the advanced courses or something like that is acceptable in there. So it's for meaningful. It was proposed by Michel and Model in 2003. They defined the learning process as learning is building, testing, and then refining the mental model. How? Suppose that I'd like really to learn something. So this new knowledge, I'm gonna build it in the old knowledge. If there is a conflict between both of them, I have to test which one is correct. And then I have to refine my mental model. It's basically like this. So that's why if I'm gonna see something, if you find something or some sort of misconnection between what I'm seeing and what you have to ask me a question, right? So this question is an indication that there is a need really to connect or to make a proper connection between the old knowledge and the new knowledge. And then, so by doing so, if you are able really to overcome such kind of misconnection between both of them, so it's testing. After that, you are gonna refine your mental model, which is thinking, mental mode, the mindset of your students. It's very simple. We are gonna define output state, which is the destination or the goals. We have to assess the input state of our students, and then we are gonna design some activities to move. By the way, learning experience here, it's exactly like the teaching strategies that we used to use in the course specs for the NCAA, right? Teaching strategies in here to move from this point to this point. It's applicable for any learning activities. It's not limited just for the course learning outcomes. It could be for a topic. It could be for a piece of information there. It could be for 5 minutes discussion. It could be for the way that you are answering a single question in there. Yeah, for example, that your student is asking a question. Yeah, we can apply this model to achieve that goal. How? Is asking me, okay, what does chemical engineering mean? Let us say. So means the output goal is to let him know the meaning of chemical engineering or the roles of chemical engineers, let us say. Something like this, right? So this is the goal. But also, by the way, this one cannot be applicable in here because it's not meaningful unless there is another step to have meaningful one. Okay, suppose this is his question, so there is an objective in there. So now I have to assess what are the knowledge and also what's the level of his understanding or something like that. And then based on that, I'm gonna design the way that I'm answering the question, right? Suppose that this is the question raised by an undergraduate student. Do you think that I'm gonna answer his question in the same manner compared with if the question is raised by, let us say, an elementary school student in there? Shall I answer the same answer? Shall I answer the same answer? Shall I share the same answer for both of them? No. No. Why? Why? The starting point is different, right? So for undergraduate, he has some skills, he has some knowledge, something like that. So, and that one is the definition, let us say. So there is a small step really to be there. But for, let us say, the kids in there, no, I have to think about their abilities and their knowledge to move from here to there, right? So here also, it has three elements. This is the starting point, this is the destination, and this is the route or the path. Let us start with the defining the output state. Defining output state is the goal, a goal or set of goals, clear I guess, right? And also here, the output goal should answer this question. What do you expect from your student to be able to do by the end of that activity, right? So by the end of this semester, my student will be able to do something, صح? So this is the output goal or the output state. What do you expect from your student really to do immediately after that activity? For example, the activity is discussion. So what do you expect after this discussion from your student really to be able to do? And then also here, it depends on the educational level. Yeah, it depends on the educational level. There is no doubt for that. Because I'm expecting really to go with the high order of thinking for senior students compared with the freshman students, right? So if I'm gonna ask any question, do you think that the complexity as well as the depth of the questions for the senior students is gonna be the same with the freshman students? Is it gonna be with the same depth and same level of complexity? It's not, right? And also here, it should include knowledge and also the ability really to do something, which means the learning model. Please. Yes, please.
Should we consider the student as an input?
Sorry?
It depends on the education level of your student.
Yeah.
In this case, the student could be considered as an input.
You mean in the same classroom?
Yeah.
In the same classrooms, but they do have different levels. Different levels. No. The course learning outcomes will not be affected by a single student in there. No, it's for all of them. Yeah.
I mean that we have different level of understanding. So we have to manage the efficient way and respect the different level of understanding of each student.
Yeah.
It will be a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but also I'm gonna help you today, inshallah, how to overcome such kind of things. Thank you much. Yeah. But also here, the output goal should be the same for all of them, but the starting point might be not the same for all of them. And also here, as I said, it's for every learning experience. It should be clear and specific. Should be clear and specific. Don't say, okay, to be able to calculate or to solve problems. Problems in what? It should be to calculate pH in aqueous system, let us say, or whatever in there. So it should be specific, and also there should be a map between the course content as well as the goals. If, let us say, this topic, there is no link between this topic and the output goals, so we don't have really to teach them, right? Yeah, there should be some mapping. And I'm sure that with the NCAA and the accreditation, we use really to map between the course content as well as the course learning outcomes. Just to be sure that we are doing something for something. It's not just delivering the lecture without having purpose in there. And also here, it should be known to your students. So don't let them really guess about your expectations. Okay? It should be clear to all of them. And also here, as you know that the learning education is a journey with so many stops in there. So if this is the starting point, for example, this is the starting point of one of my students, and I'd like him by the end of the semester to move from here to there in terms of knowledge, skills, or the way that he's thinking in there. So I cannot push him or let him jump from here to there once. I cannot, right? So he has to go through some steps. So this is the first step, right? So this is the input state, and this is the output state, and I'm gonna design the activities that can allow him to move from this one to this one. And the output state then will be the input state for the next step. You got my point? The output state for the first step is gonna be the input state for the next, and then he can move till reaching the output goal in there. And also, suppose that I'm here with my students are here, and my planning is to move from here to there. But I design some activities. I assume, okay, I'm gonna do some kind of discussions. But while moving in the roadmap, I found this activity will not work. Shall I wait till the end of the activity, or shall I quit? What do you think? To save time. Quit. If you are sure that you are gonna end up with nothing, so in this case you have to be flexible to design something else. If you are sure about it. You got my point? And then once I'm here, does it mean that I got lost already? How can I reach the output goal? Because here, I started from here, from this point, I designed some activities, I moved a bit, but I found this activity is not that efficient to take our student knowledge from this point to that point. So, and then we agreed that I have to quit to save my time, right? I have to quit, yes, I have to. I have to quit. And then I have to propose other activities. So, how can I design then? Yes, use another activities, but also don't forget, the output goal can serve you as guiding light. Okay? And then you can design your own path or the shortest path to reach the output goal. Here also, if you say, by the end of the course, my student will be able to predict something, let us say. Okay? So in this case, you have to define what do you mean by prediction. How to do that? By having some modeling or practices with your students. So let them get the opportunity really to predict something. So by doing so, they will get the exact meaning without guessing. What do we mean by that? Is it clear? I'm going to assume it's clear. And then it should be assessed from time to time. So this is another activity which is known as think and share. Think and share. It's like the previous one, but the previous one, you have to answer the question like this without even having some time really to think. Now the question is, define any or an output goal for any activity or learning experience. You have to think, and then I have to get you a feedback from your side. So this is known as think and share, right? But are you familiar with the NCAA course specs? Anyone does not have an experience? That's fine. So in this case, I think all of us really were involved in such kind of things, how to define output goal. But this is for the course. But here, let us say, for the activity, for example, for this training program, I already defined my goals. You remember in the, I think, third slides in there? 3 main goals in there, right? So these are the goals. And what I'm doing right now, I'm trying really to reach those goals. But before that, what I did, you remember what I did? I defined my goals, and then before having such kind of activities and asking from here and there and something like that, what I did, you remember what I did? The survey. For what? Is it for nothing? Okay, what's the objective of the first survey? What's the objective? The assessment of the input state. Thank you very much. Just to know what kind of knowledge that you do have and something like that. Although I could not get everything in there, but it's okay. But it's the time really just to let you know about that one. Okay? So we'll move, inshallah, next lecture to the input state.